accomplish the mission of Shri Rām. Title of this chaupai is Insight versus Information. The word Vidyavān means learned. In the 36th chapter, in verses 14, 45, 46 and 47 of the Uttarkand of the Valmiki Ramayana, the sage Agastya narrates the life and achievements of Hanumanji to Shri Rām. During his childhood, Hanumanji lunged upwards to grab the sun, mistaking him for fruit. Indra hurled the thunderbolt at Hanumanji to stop him. Hanumanji fell unconscious. This so infuriated Hanumanji's father Pavandev, the Lord of the Winds, that he stopped blowing. To pacify Pavandev, all the gods assembled and blessed Hanumanji with various boons. At that time, the Lord's Son said, "When this child will be capable to study scriptures, I myself will impart the knowledge, as a result of which he will become eloquent. He will be beyond compare in this wisdom of the scriptures." Accordingly, Hanumanji, holding the grammar book in his hands, in order to clarify doubts, would move from eastern to the western horizon, constantly facing the sun. He mastered various scriptures, and no one could surpass him in the studies of various branches of knowledge and philosophy. In the acquisition of all the knowledge of scriptures and performing penance, he will be parallel to Brihaspati, the guru of the gods. Because of his deep-rooted wisdom and your blessings, O Ram, Hanumanji will be revered as Brahma, the creator. It is important to note here that instead of using a more frequently used word, Vidvān, Tulsidashi uses a less common word, Vidyavān. Apparently both words are synonymous, but there's an inherent difference in their meaning. Taking recourses to instances narrated in the scriptures, let us try to understand the deeper meaning of this important chaupai. Vidvān is a scholar who has merely studied the scriptures and can rattle out the references to impress others. Vidyavān is a wise person who has understood the essence of the scriptures and honestly tries to put these principles into practice before he preaches to others. His life thus is a reflection of his wisdom. An academic comparison between Ravan and Hanumanji would clarify this difference. Ravan is Vidvān, a scholar, while Hanumanji is Vidyavān, wise. It is well known that Ravan had 10 heads. Commentators have given various interpretations for these 10 heads. One such interpretation is that Ravan was an expert in the 4 Vedas and the 6 Shastras, each head symbolizing a branch of study. He was 10 times more intelligent than a normal person, but he had abducted Sita disguised as a sannyasi, a mendicant. Adi Shankaracharya says, Shanti Sita Samanita Atamaramo Vijaraje. Of various characteristics of virtues of Mother Sita, Shanti, peace, is the most prominent one. In fact, Sita is peace personified. She belongs to Shri Rām, but Ravan abducted her. Those who cannot handle the bulk of information gathered from books try to rob others' peace by making their lives miserable and turbulent. That they carry out their misdeeds under the veil of a saintly character is really tragic. The false pride of being a scholar causes their downfall. On the other hand, Hanumanji became instrumental in searching for Sita and uniting her with Shri Rām. Thus, a Vidyavān abducts peace, whereas a Vidyavān restores it. Hence, Hanumanji is not a Vidyan, but a Vidyavān. An incident in the Sundarkand narrates Hanumanji being brought to Ravan in the court of Lanka. Hanumanji chose to appear in court as if struck and bound by the Brahmastra, the weapon released by Meghanand, Ravan's son. Here we observed a Vidyavān and a Vidvān coming face to face. This symbolizes the meeting of 2 contrasting ideologies. Hanumanji says, Vinati karon jorikar Ravan, Sunaru man jati to shikavan. Ramcharitmanas Sundaka Doha 22. O Ravan, I request you, with folded hands, give up your arrogance and listen to my advice. Is Hanumanji so weak that he has to fold hands in front of Ravan? One folds hands on 2 accounts, either due to fear or due to reverence. The haughty Ravan roared, What is so surprising that you are folding hands before me when almighty deities and demigods are the same? This claim by Ravan is not baseless, as Hanumanji observed with his own eyes, Kar jore sur diship binita, Pukrati bilokat sakal sabita. Ramcharitmanas Sundaka Doha 20. Even gods and regents of the quarters stood meek with joined palms, all watching the movement of his eyebrows with great dismay. Deities folded hands on account of fear, whereas Hanumanji did so due to reverence. Tulsidashi categorically states that fear was nowhere in Hanumanji's mind. Deki patap na kapi man sanka, Jimmy Abigan Mahu Garud Asanka. Ramcharitmanas Sundarkand Doha 20. The sight of Ravan's might caused no fear in Hanumanji's mind, just as an eagle is fearless amongst a bed of serpents. Taken aback by Hanumanji's fearlessness, Ravan asks, Ki don shravan suni nahi mohi dekhu ati asanksaka hoi. Ramcharitmanas Sundakant Doha 20. What? Did you never hear my name? I see you an exceptionally bold wretch. Hanumanji may well ask, is it mandatory that everyone coming in front of you must be scared? Ravan said, yes, of course. This proves my might. It could be his answer. Narcissism spews from conduct of an arrogant person. Others get scared because they look at Ravan's eyebrows, whereas Hanumanji does not get scared because he looks at Shri Ram's eyebrows. A poet sings in praise of Shri Ram, Brukkuti bilas srushti lai hoi, sapanishu sankat pariki soi. How can he encounter difficulty even in a dream who can bring about the extinction of the universe just by a twitch of his eyebrows? Ravan hollered, if you're looking at Ram's eyebrows, then why are you folding your hands before me? Hanumanji said, it is your illusion, O Ravan. I in fact am folding hands to Shri Ram. But where is he here? That's precisely what I wish to explain to you, O Ravan. Shri Ram is omnipresent and hence he is here too. I am seeing Shri Ram in you as well. That's why Hanumanji addresses Ravan as Prabhu, Swami, etc. Kayu fal Prabhu, lagi punka, kapi subhav ten turin ruka, sabi de param priya Swami, marahi mohi kamayu gami. Ramcharitmanas Sundakant Doha 22. I ate the fruits, O Lord, because I felt hungry and broke the branches, befitting the inherent nature of a monkey. Everyone intensely loves one's body, O Master, and the wicked fellows beat me up. Hanumanji kept his decorum in addressing Ravan, whereas Ravan reciprocated with derogatory words such as Shakt, Kal, Adam. Mitru nikat ahi kal tohi, lagesi Adam sikan mohi. Doha 23. Death is approaching you, O wretch. That is why you are daring to advise me, O vile creature. The moral of the story is Hanumanji being Vidyavān, sees God even in Ravan and adversary. On the other hand, Ravan is an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. He has composed several hymns in his praise and also attempted to bring him to Lanka, but is unable to recognize Lord Shiva incarnated as Hanuman and abuses him. This dissipates limitations of Vidvan, a mere scholar who is unable to recognize his Ishtadev, the god of his faith. Another striking difference between the Vidvan and the Vidyavān is regards to egotism and humility. Ravan has turned arrogant on acquiring knowledge, while Hanumanji has become humble because of his wisdom, just as a branch of a tree bows down on bearing fruits. A person whose thoughts are maligned with intellectual growth remains confined to being Vidvan, whereas intellectual growth that culminates into perception of God within elevates into a state of Vidyavān. Now he strives to instill the divine in the hearts of everyone. That prompted Vidyavān Hanumanji to inspire Vidvan Ravan, Ramcharan Pankaj Udarahu, Lanka Achur Rajatum Karahu, Doha 23. Install the image of Shri Ram's lotus feet in your heart and enjoy uninterrupted sovereignty of Lanka. What a noble thought! No matter how much wealth and material happiness you're rolling in, you will be secure as long as you feel the presence of the Lord in your heart. Mother Sita has also advised Hanumanji with similar words. Raghupati Charan Hruday Dhari Tat Madur Fal Kahu. Doha 17 of the Sundakand. My son, enjoy the luscious fruits with your heart fixed on Shri Ram's feet. One who does not experience the presence of God within has a void in his heart. Abundant material wealth cannot fill up this void, and a person constantly feels hollow. Ravan might ask, you notice only the void in my heart? Can't you see abundance around me? Look here. The state treasury is stuffed with wealth and jewels. To protect this treasury, our army is ranked by demons. To guard Lanka, the ocean around is filled with water. The artillery is stocked with weapons. My harem is populated by queens. My 10 heads are brimming with intellect, and my 20 arms are throbbing with power. And here you are ignoring all of these and just harping about the void in my heart. Imagine a person with muscular arms, strong legs, charming eyes, sharp ears, a pointed nose, sparkling teeth, and having only one problem: his heart is stopped. What is the meaning of having all these limbs right and a non-functional heart? In such a situation, all these limbs become useless. Similarly, in the spiritual world, when everything else is nice and proper, but due to a maligned heart, eyes won't be able to see good, ears won't be able to listen to good things, the tongue won't have good speech, the moment that God's perceived in the heart, the eyes will immediately see good, the ears will immediately listen to good, and the tongue will always speak good. Wherever you look around, it will be divine. Vidyavān invariably focuses on the heart rather than the head. Ravan may ask Hanumanji, ignoring all my possessions and powers, you're just focusing on the void in my heart. Isn't it your negative approach? there are two types of photographs. Sachin will tell us this. He's a photographer. The first is taken with a normal camera. While taking this picture, one may wear good clothes, make a nice hairstyle, and try to look meticulous, but this picture deals with only the external appearance. The other is an X-ray, which has nothing to do with external appearance, but reveals the ailment within. Hanumanji would reply to Ravan, people flattering you are dazzled by your external appearance, but can't see through your ailment within, whereas, O Ravan, I've arrived here to cure your internal ailment. That's why I instantaneously notice the void in your heart. Hanumanji here plays the role of an able guru who has nothing to do with external possessions. His only mission is to cleanse the disciple's heart. Next, in this chaupai, the word guni is used, meaning meritorious and virtuous. Hanumanji is an ocean of virtues. One of the most important amongst them is effective communication skill. Let's talk about communication skill. Shri Rām was highly impressed with Hanumanji's virtues in their first meeting. This episode elaborates communication skills of an ambassador. The details of this meeting are narrated in the Valmiki Ramayana, the Kishkinakant, the 3rd chapter. Fearful of his elder brother Vali, Sugriv was hiding on Mount Rishamukh. He saw Shri Rām and Lakshman were searching for Sita in a forest. Apprehending them to be Vali's men, Sugriv was frightened. He sent Hanumanji to discover their identities. Hanumanji, disguising himself as a Brahmin, initiated a conversation with the duo, finally revealing himself as a emissary of Sugriv. At the end of the conversation, Shri Rām told this to Lakshman. Such eloquence cannot be expected from a person who has not studied the 3 Vedas. His prolonged yet flawless speech proves that he's mastered the nuances of grammar. During the entire conversation, not a single flaw is observed on his face, eyes, forehead, eyebrows, or any other organ. His speech is brief, clear, and without undue pauses. None of his utterances are harsh to the ears. The speech emanating from his heart via the throat is sonorous. His speech is ornamented by 5 characteristics. These are the 5 characteristics. It's in total congruence with the rules of grammar and is faithful to the accuracy of gender, tense, and proposition. Number 2, arranging words in sentences according to the rules of grammar. Number 3, lucid, uninterrupted, without hesitation, and consistent. Number 4, pleasant and heartwarming. And number 5, spiritually uplifting. It's a matter of sheer imagination as to how intelligent and virtuous Hanumanji is that Shri Rām was highly impressed during their very first conversation. Later in this chaupai it says ati chātur, meaning extremely clever. It's a big accomplishment to be clever along with being scholarly and virtuous. Extremely rare is a confluence of all 3. This is aptly illustrated by a story of 3 Brahmins who were returning home after their studies. Passing through a forest, they spotted a dead body of a lion. One of them said he knew how to replace flesh and bones. The other boasted about his ability to put the skin in place, whereas a third bragged that he could infuse life into it. They put their learning to the test only to make the lion come alive. The beast just ate them and disappeared into the jungle. All the 3 were no doubt scholars and virtuous, but lack of cleverness, ati chātur, made them lose their lives. One has to be clever enough to judge where and how to make use of vidya, scholarly abilities. People nowadays try to be crafty, but lack cleverness. Next, in the chaupai, Rāma karibe ātur, eager to carry out Shri Rām's work. The popular meaning of this chaupai is, since Hanumanji is learned, virtuous, and clever, he is eager to do Shri Rām's work. Being Vidyavān, Hanumanji has a well-defined goal. Being virtuous, he is focused on it. His cleverness makes him efficient in accomplishing it. He reads through the mind of Shri Rām and very ably carries out the Lord's work without being formally instructed. We, with our limited intellect, get entangled in Kaam Kaj, day-to-day chores, whereas Vidyavān Hanumanji does Ram Kaj, Shri Rām's work. A few saints interpret this chaupai differently. Because Hanumanji is keen on doing Shri Rām's work, he is learned, virtuous, and clever. According to Aristotle, the quality of life is determined by its activities. A meritorious person, remaining indifferent to good deeds, loses the sheen of his merits. His patience degenerates into laziness, unattachment into hatred, and selflessness into arrogance. On the other hand, when a mere interest in good activity matures into eagerness, The necessary qualities and abilities are bestowed upon the person. This is a universal law. This implies that one needs not wait to acquire these qualities for doing Ramkaj. As a person commits himself to Ramkaj, they are automatically showered upon him, and the qualities thus acquired make him further committed to Ramkaj. This is a mutually complementary process, keeping one constantly in service of the Lord, leading to a blissful life. Let us not beg of Hanumanji for our petty worldly desires, but seek his blessings for doing Ramkaj. If you seek worldly pleasures as an aid for doing Ramkaj, Hanumanji will certainly oblige you. But remember, if you forget to perform Ramkaj later on, Hanumanji certainly will not. The management principle of this chaupai is that an efficient manager never indulges in nepotism to glorify his own position. He has the organization's goal foremost in his mind, and all his actions are fine-tuned towards his goal. Let's go to the next chaupai, chaupai 8. Babu